Okay, Monday morning, and I'm hurting. I don't know about these Sundays. We seem to work more on a Sunday than all the rest of the week combined. I don't know. We get these big ideas in our heads. We're going to get it and get it done, and it works out. Unreal yesterday. We have the Tower of Power. Yes, the Tower of Power getting power. All right, this morning we woke up to +7, but feels like +6. Yes, and then on the yo-yo scale, +44, but feels like +43. Yes, it's getting chilly out here. The snows will come and we'll have the grader ready. Yes, so we can find more rocks in the yard. Yes. Also, too, according to Drama Book, better notice Facebook, I'm an asshole. Yes, I'm an asshole. People are actually posting that I'm an asshole. I have never seen so many negative comments towards me other than at a family reunion on the Drama Book. Unreal. I don't know what the world's coming to. I thought I was a well-liked guy outside of WHO-ville. Yeah, they hate me. So I just can't believe it. The people will sit there and post negative stuff. What's the point? Yes, you should post positive stuff. Yes, I'm the biggest, how would you say, underachiever of Manitoba. Yes, that's what my dad used to always say. Son, you're one of the top 10 underachievers of Manitoba. I was always proud because I made the top 10 list. See, I told him I was good at something. All right, let's get back here. All right, let's scroll this way to see what the sun is doing. It's chilly. I should have my long undies on. The sun is bright because there's rain coming. It's supposed to rain for all week, and Noah will get his boat ready to set sail. The sun is over here somewhere. I don't know. I can't see anything. There's a glare on the screen. Oh, well. All right, so we're going back. Yes, the wood. We're going to get that done. We'll do it when there's snow on the ground. All right, so today we're going to focus on that grader. We'll do the loose ends on it, finish off the levers and the pedals and stuff like that, and then we'll worry about the hydraulics once the motor goes back in, and then we can free up the famous black cat and park it back in the lineup. A little exercise in the summer, as you say, driving it out and using the hydraulics. That worked out very well. Oh, I'm not doing too good this morning. I worked too hard yesterday. Oh well, but we had fun, we got it done, and I'm an asshole. Well, I better go. Here comes the boss. He's an asshole too.
Monday morning in Whoville. It's almost 10 a.m. and I'm just getting ready to head to the kingdom. This is the temperature we're sitting at right now. It's 11 degrees Celsius, which is 51 degrees Fahrenheit. We even have the feels like on the bottom. Looks like it's going to be a nice day, but we're not doing much in the kingdom, so let's head on over and see what my dad's up to. Just got the quad out. Now I'll head inside and let the dogs back in, then go to the kingdom and see what my dad's up to. That's his laundry from yesterday. I do have to pick up some more laundry, and I think the beads for the plasma cutter, I have to cook those for a bit, but I'll do a video on that, so let's get going. 10 a.m. and I made it to the kingdom. Looks like it's going to be a slow day. My dad's pretty sore from yesterday, but I'll head down to the shop and we have to get the plasma cutter beads out of the dryer so I can take them back into WHO-ville and bake them in the oven for a couple hours to dry them out. Then you guys will get to see that they change color, which is actually pretty cool. Down at the shop now, and I just wanted to do a little video for you guys. I was plasma cutting the skis for the Lombard sleighs out last year, but then water got into the nozzle of the plasma cutter and it ended up frying it out, so that's why we stopped everything. But this year we need the pallet, so I have to continue plasma cutting all these. That's why I'm going to take the beads and go dry them out. Over here we have all the lumbar skis that I did last year. Once I got the hang of it, I was actually pretty good. I banged off a couple. As you can see, I got all them alphabet. That way I don't mix them up. We have some more pieces over here as well. My dad can weld these in the winter. I'll give you guys a little look at the sleigh that they're going to be going on. Where those tanks are, those are the skis that we are switching out. Now I'll head back into the shop and see if my dad's ready to take the plasma cutter beads out of the plasma cutter. In the shop now, my dad's going to take the plasma beads out of the cutter. We have a few dryers here, but still moisture gets in and it changes the beads and wears with the machine. So he'll take these out and I'll take them back into WHO-ville and bake them in the oven for a couple hours to dry them out. Then you guys will see how much of a color change they do. Even being colorblind, my dad can see it. You see how they are pink right now? That is not the color we want. We want a nice dark blue. The color we want is this blue right here. I dried these ones out a while ago, so now I'll take these beads and dry them out as well. Make sure you get the beads in there. As you can see, there was a big color change in both of them. These ones are pink and those ones are a very dark blue. They are dried out. I baked them in the oven at a very low heat for a few hours to get their color back. Perfect. Just after 10 a.m. and I'm officially done in the kingdom, so I'll head back into WHO-ville and start my dad's laundry and put those beads in the oven and get them cooking.
Okay, off to a slow start because we worked hard on this Sunday. I don't know, we're thinking we should go to the church picnic. All right, so here's what we want to get installed today is these greasy, oily brake pedals, clutch pedals, and the shifter rods, and then the cab can officially go back on. So the trick is to get those. Slowly turn this. Oh, I went too fast. All right, let's get them over here. They have to fit in here. Between on either side of the hydraulic pump. Yes, what were we thinking? I mean the orbit motor. Yes, so they fit through this shaft hole here. There's a support bearing, support thing down there. Yes, it's going to be tight, but oh well. And we found some pieces here. Look at this here. So this goes on like, oh, hand and eye coordination. All right, let's try this again, sober. All right, so we have the right side, and I'm trying to demonstrate on the left side. So let's simulate like the Red Shoe Diaries. So this goes on here to keep the brake drums or brake band things from falling out. Yes, but I had to put that piece over there to keep everything from falling out. I don't want to put these cover plates on until we fully understand these little brake pads or brake bands or whatever. And as you can see, it's leaking oil. Didn't leak oil till we had it up and running. Now it leaks oil. Oh well, just a minor detail. We have lots of gasket goo. We can fix that.
10:30 and I just made home from the kingdom. Now it's time to head inside, let the dogs out, start my dad's laundry, and then I'll put those beads in the oven, but I'll do a little video and show you guys what I do. Just wanted to give you guys a little video on what I do with my plasma cutter beads. I like to lay them out on a baking sheet and cook them at a very low heat. I don't want to cook them too fast or else they'll melt, but it takes a couple hours at around 200 degrees or anything lower than that. We just want to do it nice and slow, but I'll put these in the oven for an hour and then take them out and show you guys how they look. They change from a pink color to a very dark blue. While the plasma cutter beads bake in the oven to dry out at a low heat for a couple hours, I'm going to be sorting out my blueberries. This is my collection so far. I think I'm doing pretty good. I still have lots to sort, but I will be going out again this afternoon to pick more because there will be frost coming and I want to get as much blueberries as I can before they're all gone. 11:30, it's been about an hour. As you can see, the plasma cutter beads have changed color. They were a light pink, now they are slowly turning blue. I'll put them back in for another hour because a few of them are still kind of pink and you can see some color on them. I want them dried out as much as possible. Now it's time to make lunch.
Okay, late lunch in the kingdom because we were all greasy. Yes, we had that never seasoned grease everywhere. So we got the shaft in after I pressure washed it. And talk about lucky. Look at that. The brake pedal clears the hoses down there and the bracketry. So this works out very well. It was a dead giveaway which pedal was which because this is well... Oh, hand and eye assessment. This is well worn to the clutch. The brakes on these machines didn't really work. So that was the last resort, I think. Also, too, we think we're missing a part in here. Okay. I think there's a collar or pipe goes in there. That's why the extra pinhole. But this here free floats, okay? So I think somebody has taken and tossed that piece away. It's been 7 years since I took it apart, and I'll have to look at the photos at lunch. And this is a homemade clutch bracket. So this is the clutch pedal here. Oh, hand and eye again, Les Nessman. There's the clutch pedal. So if this was free floating, that would give it room to put this on. I don't think this is what was designed at the factory. because this kind of looks homemade. Yes, that looks like the tie rod end off the Volkswagen Bug or something, or the old Buick. So we're not sure. So I think it has to free float to be able to get this in here, you know, because there's not just enough room, I think, to get it to slide in there, and we'll hope for the best. Also, too, 7 years ago, we purchased the brake cylinder, or the master cylinder, so we might as well put it on now because it's a lot easier to stand here and work on it than when the cab is on. Yes, all right, let's go have some lunch. I think we're going to reheat something in the microwave. Yes, refry it, reheat it, recook it. More microwave currents for me. Okay, over in the hoe shack, and the lovely lady there, she's kind of showing a little more. I'm going to have to correct that. Yes, all right, or blur it out. Okay, so over here, I used my high gloss colored printer and printed off the photos. I looked at them at lunch while I was farting around burning lunch in the microwave. So this is the Tower of Power shaft. That's the drive shaft that came under the transmission to join it, okay? And as you can see, this is the shaft. Like, there's no way this shaft being 5 feet long going through the transmission is going to come out. So that's when we decided the tower has to come off, okay? So here we got the Tower of Power off. There's the brake pedals, so we can get the shaft out because it goes all the way up to here. Can you see that, Les Nessman? Yes. And there we go. So there's the shaft coming out. The pedals are there. There's no collar because there's the shaft. And I think they were using the spring here with the haywire binder wire wrapped around it to keep the shaft from free floating. And then over here, there's a picture there with the spring on around the shaft, the hole, so there is no collar there. And that's what they did. They got the tie rod end from the Buick onto there. So that's why this was free floating, because when it's hooked up to the clutch back here, keeps everything in line. So there's the brake cylinder, master cylinder thing. I was able to get the casting numbers off of it, and I think we got it through Rock Auto. It's a common master cylinder. So it has the brake line T's at the front on both sides, so I've got it hooked up correctly. Yes. All right, let's go see if we can put the gear shifts in, and then we'll be able to say we did something today for the boss. He's such an asshole.
1 p.m. and I'm just finishing up lunch. This is the temperature we're sitting at right now. It's 16 degrees Celsius, which is 60 degrees Fahrenheit. We even had the feels like on the bottom. As you can see from my weatherboard, the wind is picking up, so that means no sandflies when I go berry picking later. The plasma beads are almost done, so let's go in and check on them. Back inside, it looks like the plasma cutter beads are almost done. I think I'll give it another hour or so just to make sure they are nice and dried out. Once these are done, I will go out and do some berry picking since the wind is picking up and there'll be no sandflies. Let's continue sorting some berries while these cook. This is my blueberry cleaning setup. I lay a towel down on a baking sheet and then I spread out some blueberries so I can pick out all the stems and the bad stuff. This is my garbage tray, and then these are the ones I will keep and wash later on. So let's continue sorting some blueberries out. They're actually pretty big this year. I think I did a good job picking. Now it's time to head out and do some berry picking. The wind's picking up, so there shouldn't be any sandflies. So let's head out behind the kingdom and see how much berries I can get. 2 p.m. and I made it in behind the kingdom to my berry picking spot. As you can see, there is still lots of berries and not many leaves left on the bushes, so this should be pretty easy. Let's see how much I can get within the next hour or so. Just after 2:30 and I am done berry picking. I was able to fill up another ice cream container full. The sandflies are pretty bad even with my bug net on and the bit of wind, so let's head on back into WHO-ville and do the mail. Almost 3 p.m. and I just got back from checking the mail. There was nothing in there today, no bills or anything like that. I'm not sure why the video of me saying the plasma cutter beads were done did not work or go through, but they did finish at around 1:30 today, so I was able to go do some berry picking. Now it's time to head inside, let the dogs out, and wait for 4 p.m. so I can go to the kingdom.
Okay, late coffee in the kingdom because we had a late lunch. But look, I've been busy with the plastic, the tape, and everything. Yeah, remember I spent a couple of years in grade 3, so I do have a talent. Yes, the hard part was getting the shifter in here. Yes, because you got 2 levers, one's longer, one's shorter, and then they've custom made them, so it's really hard. And you have to get the plates and everything to line up. I'm not sure if the shifter box is supposed to have oil in it, but I chose to use up this terrible grease. Yes, they call this Arctic grease. Well, it's basically water. So I cut the tubes, dumped them in there till they were higher than the lever controls, and then I filled it up or sealed it up. We got some tarpaulin over here till the cap gets on. Once the cap is sealed up, it should be no problem. But they do work. This one goes back and forth or whatever. Ooh, they're all greasy. All right, so then I took and covered these all up because we have oil in there, and that's the hand throttle that overrides the gas pedal down here. So we're doing good. I soaked everything down with oil. Oh, and we have the cover on the chain case there, so it makes it look wobbly. I can't get it to go straight because the O-rings or the rings or whatever are worn out and expanded because of years in oil and grease. But that's no problem. I never realized that the steering wheel was telescopic. Yes, the steering wheel over there. So if you're a fat person, the steering wheel is all the way in, like me. So if you're skinny and short, the steering wheel can go back. So the way they did that was this series of holes here. Can you see that, Les Netzman? So I got it all the way forward because I'm fat and I can barely fit in the seat because everybody was small back in 53. They're not large like in today's world. Also too, we got the steering box seal installed and we covered it with silicone. Yes, the gasket goo to make sure it seals because everything is loose. Yes, the whole idea of this grader is everything is loose and worn out. But that's no problem. We even hooked up the steering down here. So when we do get the motor in, we can go for a test drive, but stopping will be a problem, but that's a minor detail. All right, let's go have a quick beverage or a coffee, I mean. Yes, it is a holiday Monday for us because we're working and relaxing. And then after coffee, we can disconnect the famous black cat and park him back in the lineup. He served his purpose. See, he served his purpose in giving the Tower of Power the power.
Almost 4 p.m. and I'll head over to the kingdom and see what my dad's up to. I have the plasma cutter beads in the bag, plus some blueberries for my dad to snack on and his laundry that I did today. So let's head on over and see what he's up to. Just after 4 p.m. and I made it to the kingdom. Looks like my dad is just tinkering around on the grader, so I'll head on back into WHO-ville and do the weather around 5 p.m. or so. 5 p.m. and this is the temperature we're sitting at right now. It's 19 degrees Celsius, which is 66 degrees Fahrenheit. We even have the feels like on the bottom. It does not feel this warm out. That wind makes it a little chilly. I had my jacket on when I was berry picking today. Now it's time to head inside, let the dogs out, make supper, and end my day.
Okay, back in June or July, I had taken all the fittings and got them ready for the little hydraulic tank here. There's no sense making a hydraulic tank because this grader came with power steering. So we'll utilize the power steering tank or whatever, the hydraulic tank, and utilize it for the live power to the tower and the power steering again. So I'm copying everything they did, but we're putting a valve on the tank and a proper fitting onto this little thingy that can pop off. And then this is what they had over here, kind of boogered in sort of thing. Yeah, because that's a check valve. So we'll run it from this line will now come from the orbit motor on the tower of power. Oh, these lips. And then we'll send it to the steering out front, just like they did. I think we're good that way. If not, we'll make changes along the way and learn. Yes, Jack Daniels will consult us as we make numerous mistakes. Okay, it's 8 o'clock and I'm an hour late. Yes, I'm an hour late. I'm English. We don't give up. Yes. All right. So I've been in and out of the boxcar here. Yes, this is a C&R boxcar, 1926, wooden boxcar with steel frames. So we had a steel shed that was full of all the hydraulic hoses that we stripped off of mining equipment back in the day. And then we wanted the shed, so we tossed everything in here. So this is where we go to find our hydraulic hoses. Yes, it's either this or nothing. Okay, it all started after coffee. I figured we'd just play with this hydraulic tank. So the idea was to save this hydraulic tank because it was mounted here, because down here where that cover plate is, there was the hydraulic pump, and this is the power steering for the Adams grader. So the plan was to take this hydraulic tank, toss it back there so it'd be feeding the hydraulic pump. Well, things didn't work out. It kind of fit nice here. We had hoses. Yes, hoses and fittings and everything like that. So we'll run the power from the pump right there. We have the hose right here, and it comes into the red side of the pump, which is right there. And then the return or wherever comes out here, goes down there, goes into here. Okay. And it goes from here that way to the power steering. But this is that check valve. So if the power steering isn't being used for 1 second or 2 seconds as you're trying to steer the stupid thing, it'll send the oil back into here. All right, so that works out good. I figured I wouldn't touch this because I'd probably break it. This thing has a little dipstick and it's vented, so it's a perfect tank. All right, so let's go to the front here. Let's see if we can walk and talk. So we ran the hoses up, and the hardest part is to keep them away from these little dry shafts. Okay, because they came down here and then they went under here. But if these dry shafts come apart, guess what? Smack, smack. All right, so over here, we fixed this. We had the fittings. We had these O-ring fittings and everything. It all worked out good. We tucked the hoses down in here. And what are the odds of having two hoses the same length? Yeah, very slim. So they have steel lines there originally that ran up, while steel's passé. This was a copper line that we broke over the years, so we just put this on. So this worked out good. So we find what we can use and make it work. That's the way we do it here. And I tie strapped them together so I didn't get all confused. Okay, the next great fun I had was everything worked out good because we actually had two hoses the same length to go to the front and come back. All right, so there's the drain. We put a tap on everything on it, and we have a big fitting down there. Now I'll walk around to the other side. Okay, playing with that number 8, I think it's called the 7/8 wrench fits on there. We have lots of that. There's a common thing in the underground mining equipment from the mine because we wrecked all their scrap metal over the years, so we saved all the fittings. And then they have this big one here. It's not that bad. These are the suction lines on the hydraulics that went to valve bodies or whatever it was, you know, sort of thing. So they're common. We have lots of them, lots of fittings, but they're not very long because they didn't go very far. So you have to watch it because mining equipment underground, they would even run the hose when the hose was leaking. Because this stuff was crammed into place, you'd have to take the machine all apart. So they would just keep adding oil. So you got nicks and rubs and everything like that. So it's Russian roulette we're playing with to see where, you know, it's damaged or whatever. We've had good luck. So it took me an hour to get that one to fit in here because we had to get it in tight in here along the frame. There'll be rubber up against it and wrapped and everything to get it to go in here. Because Mr. Hose spent 25 years of its life laying in a shed and then now the boxcar, and then it still remembers what it was like to be on that mining equipment. So it was great fun to fight and get him to fit in there. Yes. Oh well, but we did it and we can have a victory drink. So the odds of this actually happening today was unreal. First I got lucky with the tank. We had all the fittings, everything worked out good, and then we went for the hoses to the front. That worked out good. And then we went and found hoses to go to the back. I was doing good till my luck ran out when I played with the big boys there. But now we just have to find a joiner, and hopefully we get enough of one of these pieces, or we'll go find some more in the boxcar to get back to the pump, because that's the suction line for the pump that'll be back in here somewhere. I think it just overhangs just a little bit out the back here. And we should be good. I did measure the UD16, and that hydraulic tank at the front is higher than the pump. And also too, I think these hoses we're using is going to have more volume storage than the actual hydraulic tank. Oh well, let's go check on the flags. We're having fun. We had a successful day today. We're very pleased. Doesn't that look good with all the plastic bags? Yes, it does. Okay, I don't know if you can see it, but the famous black cat's parked back there for the pressure washer. Yes, it needs to get washed because it got all oily. I don't know how that happened. All right, the yard lights are on. This is what, 2 nights in a row we worked late? I don't know what I'm thinking. My boss is an asshole. Oh, wait, on social media, I'm an asshole. All right, look at the flags. They're looking good. Oh, we can't see them, but we're going to be working on the Ford this week. We got the screaming Ford. We got a weld on the back of the deck here, and then we can move it. Yes, we got trailers to move. Yes, winter's coming. It should be here next week. All right, let's go walk the dogs, drink some beer, and have victory drinks and celebrations. All right, talk to you later.